Look, you clicked on this video for two reasons. Either you're in camp A that knows stretching is important, but you just can't find the right routine to stick to, or you can't create the right habit because the routines are boring. Or maybe you're in camp number 2, where you have to start stretching because some sort of problem arises, whether it's because you're too tight and maybe it's gonna lead to an injury, or maybe you're already injured and you wanna prevent that from happening in the future. Regardless, today I'm gonna present you with one of the best, if not in my opinion, it is the best stretching routine for any of you out there. Let's see what it is. What's going on, everyone? It's John Mango here. I'm representing Beyond the Iron, where we're looking to take your fitness and nutrition further so you may change your life forever. Remember, I say you may change your life. That's all going to depend on whether or not you take this advice and you roll with it, or you just like watching the videos. Either way, I appreciate you for watching. Also, if you're just coming across the channel for the first time, I just want to let you know that I like to do a lot of workout videos, tips, tricks, strategies, meal plans, weight loss, fat loss, muscle building, all that good stuff. Basically everything you need to know to get you to your fitness goals. So if that's something that you feel like you could use or that interests you, then go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel. Alright, that's enough for that. Now it's going to be time to get into the video. So what I want to talk to you today about is this stretching routine. Now, why is this stretching routine so great? That's what I'm going to start with here. Well, like I said, everybody understands stretching is important. At least I hope we do. If we don't, well, let me break it down for you. Stretching is important. Now, if you want something that's going to help with posture, posture is a very common problem in our society. And, you know, if you want to look for something that's going to instantly fix your posture and make it better just like that and help you be in that position, it's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. I want you to click right here or check out the comments below in the description. It's a very popular video of mine, and it's also a stretching routine based around just the shoulder blades and posture correction. This stretching routine is completely different. This one is not only going to help with posture correction over time, it's going to be actually a complete full body stretch, and all you need is 5 to 10 minutes. Now, here's the thing, and I know what you're thinking already. You're thinking, well, how is this gonna be different? The problem is, I understand I need 5 to 10 minutes. I can find a stretching routine for 5 to 10 minutes anywhere on the internet. Why would I watch this video any further? Well, I'm gonna explain. There's a couple things that makes this stretching routine the best. Just like you, I was in the same spot where I couldn't find something that I could stick to and actually create the habit of making stretching part of my daily routine. But again, this routine and something specific that goes along with this routine has dramatically changed my body and has really changed my health, and my risk of injury is that much lower. And it's all because of this right here. That's right. The key to this stretching routine is not even the exact stretches we're doing, although those are very important and they're usually ones that are overlooked. However, it also has to do with your phone. What do I mean by this? Well, the cool thing about this stretching routine is it actually has an app to go along with it. Now, of course, there are other apps on the market that could help you stretch, that could help you create your own routine, all that good stuff. But this one is not only free, which I've found that it's the most effective in, one, providing an entire full body stretch, but two, the thing that allows me to stick to it and that's going to allow you to stick to it is the fact that it's actually timing you and it's giving you a signal of when to switch through the stretching. So have you ever noticed it's a lot easier to go through a stretching routine when you've got a coach or somebody telling you, okay, this is the stretch you're gonna do next, and 3, 2, 1, switch, or 3, 2, 1, hold, or 10 seconds left, or that kind of stuff? Of course, it's a lot easier for all of us. That's probably the only way most of us stick to these stretching routines in the first place. Well, now you've got that solution in the palm of your hand. Let me explain. The app we're talking about here is called Stretch. Let's see if we can zoom in here. Okay, so it's that one right there. Okay, the one with the person doing the full squat stretch, which is, by the way, part of this stretching routine, which is what I love. So I want you to go ahead and go to the App Store if you're on iPhone, or I'm not 100% sure if they have it on Android, but I'm pretty sure that they do. It would be. It's called Stretch. Just type in Stretch or stretching, and that's the icon you're looking for. Now here's the thing. It's gonna provide you with a list of 9 stretches, okay? And these 9 stretches are basically all designed to give you a full body stretch. However, I've tweaked just little parts of this stretching routine to really make it even more effective and involve more posture correction, as I find that that's a much bigger issue because of our phones like this than, you know, hip flexion tightness and all that stuff. So that being said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the stretches themselves, and I'm gonna see if I can put each one of these stretches up on the screen. I'm gonna talk over it while I show you the stretches. I'm gonna tell you where I switched things up, and we're gonna go from there. So now, I just wanna explain real quick before we start. The cool thing is, how do I know when to switch and all that? Again, that's where the app comes in. So when you click on the stretch, you go ahead and click start, and you can actually set how long you want the stretch to be. So in my case, I put it at 45 seconds, but it starts you off somewhere around 30 seconds or so. So again, if you do that 9 stretches by 30 seconds with a 5-second break in between, it's telling you when to switch, it's telling you how long to hold it for, all that good stuff. So you can't really go wrong with this. And that being said, I'm gonna dive into the stretches. Again, I'm gonna be recording over the B-roll of me stretching, going through the stretches, showing you how they look, and explaining how it's a full body stretch. Then I'll talk to you guys again here afterwards. So starting off the stretching routine, go ahead and press start, and it starts the countdown timer for you. First one up here is the shoulder extension. As you see, grab a surface that's somewhere around even with where you are. And this stretch is amazing to feel a good stretch in the chest. Open up the shoulders. This one would be huge for posture correction and really helping with the tight pecs that most people experience, again, due to that posture. So again, I'm gonna be holding this for about 45 seconds. You can set the timer whatever you'd like. The next stretch here is also very important, also because of posture. This is the underarm stretch, is what the app calls it. Very good to open up the shoulders, the front of the shoulder, the tight pecs, and I get a very good stretch in the biceps from it as well. This one's very good to help with tight biceps, as mine are, and I've noticed dramatic differences in the flexibility in my biceps and my shoulders since doing this. Next, I'm going to show you how I tweak the following 2 stretches. Just gonna pause the voiceover real quick. I want to show you for this one, I switched this up. So this shoulder stretch, what I do instead is I do one similar to that other stretching video that I've done, which is the chest stretch instead. And it's gonna give you 1 for the left side, 1 for the right. There's the countdown, let's go. You want about a 90-degree bend in the shoulder, boom, lean away from it. This stretch alone, you should feel all across the chest like this. This stretch alone is starting to help with my chest development because again, it's opening up the shoulders, which allows for more activation of the chest when lifting. So something to keep in mind. I'll keep the video rolling with the voiceover. So again, this one can be, you know, preference, but I do find that a tight chest, tight pecs are so common in today's society. The posture thing is huge. I really try to focus on that. So obviously you want to get both sides, each for 45 seconds. Next is the full squat, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Very important for the hips. If you have trouble getting in this position, chances are you've got some tight hip flexors, tight hamstrings, tight glutes. So it's very important to be able to practice that stretch. Next up, you've got the standing pike. This one's obviously mostly for your hamstrings, lower back, a little upper back as well. What you're trying to do here is reach out in front of your feet, not actually down to your toes. Now before I wasn't even coming close to the ground. As you see here, as my legs almost completely straight, I'm touching the ground pretty easily. Next up, once this one's done, I'm also going to alternate the next 2 stretches. So they've got you going with a seated lunge, or a kneeling lunge rather, and I switched it up for the hamstring stretch, as you see here. Again, 1 for each side, and I simply just use the timer to count it down here. I do this one because I want to increase and improve the flexibility in my hamstrings. And again, if you're somebody who sits a lot, which you probably are, this would be a little bit more beneficial just because they have another exercise, another stretch after this that deals with the hip flexors. So I'd rather get some more hamstring stretching and hamstring work in, and then just deal with the hip flexors afterwards. There's a couple other stretches that'll help with the hip flexors. So I found, you know what, this one works better. The hamstrings are just the most commonly tight muscles in the body, I would say, as well as the pecs, biceps, hip flexors. So next up is going to be the butterfly. This should be a very commonly known stretch. Now, as you see, I've gotten pretty good at this, I'd say.
Your goal is to keep the knees as close to the ground as possible. You're gonna feel this one in the hip flexors. This really helps open up the hips. This really helped me to essentially get into that deep full squat that I'm able to do. Obviously the full squat stretch is going to help with that as well. So if you really want to improve your mobility on the squat, those are some good ways. Now this one right here, very key. You've got the back bridge, okay? This is important. Now if you look here, I'm going to actually go up. If you can eventually do it this way, even better. I've built myself up to this, but it's really good for strengthening the glutes and the lower back. So if you actually suffer with sciatica, I've found that from people telling me and also prescribing this to them and, you know, researching and whatnot, this is a very effective way to deal with the pain and actually help improve sciatica over time. To finish off, you've got these two side stretches here. They're called the lying twists. You're going one side. Now if you look, I'm trying to look at the opposite side that my leg is across. That's really gonna get you to feel this stretch across the entire back, the lower, the upper. You're gonna feel it in the glutes a little bit, you know, a little bit of the legs, the trunk basically is getting stretched out here. Go ahead and do the other side. As you see, full body is covered here. I mean, besides things like the calves, forearms, triceps, but again, these are not commonly tight areas, so everything that you need is covered here, and you can always add on to it afterwards if you like. Anyways, guys, that's the stretching routine. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to stick around, I'm gonna speak a little bit more about it and how you can tweak it and stuff, right? Cheers.
Get a nice little song once it's over. That's it, guys. Alright everyone, so I hope you learned maybe a stretch or two from that routine. I hope you see how easy it is. Sometimes we just need a visual reminder of how easy it is to incorporate something like this into your lifestyle, and that alone can make a big difference. But check it out. You know, besides the obvious things of, you know, you should stretch because it's going to decrease your risk of injury, which I've spoken about this in many videos in the past, specifically recent ones. You know, we know that it's going to increase flexibility, it's going to improve posture, it's going to improve hip tightness, okay? The thing is you need to make time to slot this into your day. Now again, we're talking 10 minutes if you're going something like 45 seconds per stretch like I do, but I worked my way up to that. If you want to build the habit, again, you can adjust on the app, and I would recommend you do so. Adjust it to about 30 seconds. Even less than that, you could do 20 seconds if you want. Hold each stretch for 20 seconds, and that's the perfect amount of time to get the most out of that stretch. Any longer is just going to add to it. It's going to be a little bit extra. So what I recommend is slot and find a time in your day. What I would do is grab some sort of planner, okay? Grab some sort of sheet, some sort of planner, and plan out your day. And when you do that, make room, give it 10 minutes. Make 10 minutes of room in your day to go through a stretching routine. And I personally enjoy doing it after my workouts. Now, I work out in the morning. Some of you may work out at night. So one great thing to do would be to do this stretch routine right before you go to sleep after your workout. It's gonna help relax you, it's gonna relax the muscles, it's gonna improve your recovery. It's gonna keep you in a better state to go to sleep and get better sleep quality. Now, if you're like me, you work out in the morning, I would recommend doing this post-workout, which would be somewhere in the morning or around midday. Again, you can make room for any of these, wherever the case may be, throughout your schedule. All you gotta do is find the time that works best for you, slot in 10 minutes, and hey, make the effort now and you'll improve and see the results later on, and it's gonna be worth it. I'm telling you from my own experience that adding this in and finally sticking to it, now don't get me wrong, I fall off once a week maybe. Once a week I'll miss it, okay? Because things get hectic, my schedule's constantly changing. But if you can stick to it at least 6 days a week for weeks on end, you're gonna have a pretty solid concrete habit in there with you. And not only that, that relaxation, that time of stretching and just being in the moment and feeling good and improving your flexibility, it's gonna help with everything else in your life. Just like working out does. If you have a better posture, you're breathing better. If you're breathing better, you're more relaxed. You're clearer in the mind. You're sleeping better. So these are some very important things to keep in mind and very important reasons why you should be doing this. Now again, this is the greatest stretching routine because we're covering your entire body and all those problem areas for 99% of us out there within a 10-minute span, okay? And you don't need to hire a coach, you don't need to go to yoga, you don't need to actually take an hour out of your day to drive and go and set up and this and that and sweat and shower. You know, you could do this in the comfort of your own home. Like I just showed you here, you know, there's this very small space, but I made do with it. And that's all you need. So there's no excuse. This is a great full body routine, the greatest, for the sole purpose that the way it's designed and the way I've implemented it and hopefully allowed you to realize how to implement it, that's what makes it the greatest, because it's actually going to help you create the habit of stretching every day. That being said, that's all I got for you in today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate your support. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'd love to address them. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to talk to my subscribers and my followers. So go ahead and comment them below, or even shoot me a direct message. Follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, and I'll talk to you there. Again, this is John Mango from Beyond the Iron, where we're looking to take your fitness and nutrition further so you may change your life forever. I'll talk to you guys in that next video. Thanks so much for watching. Keep those gains coming. I'm out.